Peace and blessings, family. It's MBB World family. We are now mic'd up. The world is asleep, but we're waking them up by making noise in the 518. We got a lot to talk about, man. To the left of us, we got MBB Tia, MBB Rocket.
Please listen to us.
How we doing?
We got a lot to say on this podcast.
And with us, we got the one and only Matthew Durkee, man. How are you feeling today, man?
What's up?
Not too bad. Hanging in.
How's your day?
All right, we just put in
long day at work today.
Wait, so talk to where do you work?
I work at Change Healthcare. I'm an accounts receivable specialist there, so I work with like medical billing and a bunch of shit like that.
It's very big field.
Yeah.
Oh wow! All right, so like we're gonna get into this podcast, man. This one's gonna be an interesting one, but we're gonna get some real in-depth conversations going on. So we're gonna start by talking about the video that we have at play. This is a video that surfaced to us. A little background to the story is Matthew Durkee is an artist who is gonna come perform at MbbWrld event. And a week before the event has launched, there was some news. There was a clip sent to me that was registered as we weren't able to. It was a difficult play on the brand. We couldn't allow him to perform at the brand. It was like to defend our brand, we couldn't allow him to perform at the event. Yeah. But we wanted to give him a chance to speak on it because we don't want to hold people to their past. We want him to be able to talk about what he's at now and his position. Yes. So we're gonna play this video. For those that are watching, it's slightly graphic. I don't know how people are gonna take it, but we're gonna play it, and this is raw, uncut. Everything's raw, uncut, man. So we're gonna go ahead and get into this video.
I think I keep looking up and I'm showing like my biggest forehead.
Oh, bro, people are mad salty around here. Mad salty. They don't like the fact that we're doing shit because they're not doing it. But if they were doing it, they would want us to be like, oh, bro, that's sick. Like, that's why I gave up. Like, a long time ago when I was telling you to give up on the local scene and fuck 518, like, that's why I said fuck the 518 because, like... This place is fucking is already dead, bro. There's nothing here. There ain't no saving it. Okay. The only time you're gonna bring hip hop here is if we make it big and bring it back. If we ever make it that big, I would like to bring it back here, but not to Albany, not to Schenectady, and not to Troy. We're gonna bring it right back here to Glens Falls, Queensbury, and Lake George for the summertime. For when the tourists come. That's what we're going to do. Fuck Albany and fuck Troy and fuck Schenectady because all you got in those cities are a bunch of fucking scumbag ass, excuse it, I'm going to use the word, niggers.
Wow. I'm not going to hold you. This is my first time listening to this, and I was not expecting that. That was very, very intense.
So that was a video clip. So we brought him onto this platform because we had many conversations about this outside of it because we're open-minded. And basically we wanted to give him a platform to be able to talk about it. So we're going to get into it, man. I feel like something like this doesn't really come up unless something was going on beforehand. Yeah, so what would you say was transpiring before this video?
Like, were you in the right mindset?
Like, the feelings you were feeling.
I feel like there's so much to this that like it's really hard to like pick a spot to like start with it. You know what I mean? Because like there's a lot that went behind like. One, why it even surfaced, and two, why it even was said in the first place. Yeah, so you know what I mean? So
I think like, a good place where. So what is the video? Because I see it's like a cover photo of you. So where did that video come from?
That picture, this is the thing that's the most shocking for me. I still don't really know exactly like where that all came from. Like that was so long ago that like in my head, like I don't know if it was like
how long we're talking.
Oh man, years. Like I was like fresh in the scene. Like,
I was nervous.
I've been doing this for like over 10 years. Bro, like I'm 30 years old now. For like a recap, so everyone knows I'm 30-year-old grown ass man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this was like when I was a kid, like fresh in the scene, like coming into hip hop. Like I had this whole idea in my head that like we were just gonna fucking take over. You know, like that young mentality when you're fresh, you're just hungry as fuck. You know what I mean? Like
I just feel like that's a little bit like white supremacy to just kind of say that and like do that. So I just like want to know like what inspired you and like why you said that, because nobody like, if you're not like, like people don't just go around like, even when you're young and dumb, like I would never like that's not something commonly.
I get the question you're asking for sure. I mean, it's one of those things where it's just like where I'm from, there isn't a lot of like diverse culture when I was growing up way back then. You know what I mean?
So are you from like Glens Falls?
I'm from Glens Falls. Well, South Glens Falls technically. That's where I'm from. It's like across the bridge.
Like 18-ish?
17-ish, somewhere around that. Yeah. So I mean, growing up, I didn't really have like a lot of exposure in that word, and like even the word that I don't want to say it now, but the word that was used to like discriminate the homosexuals, that word was used quite often, especially in like hip hop when I was growing up. You know what I mean? Like
So
I was always
you heard
so I
like
was
a lot of
hearing that-
elder people like say that
and you know what I
stuff.
mean. As I'm growing up, I'm hearing this
That's
shit.
not
So like,
okay.
and they're cool with it. They're letting me do it, and I'm not just talking about like white people, like the people, the slim people that were around there that were people of color. They never corrected me.
Yeah,
And I'm
so,
not to cut you off, and I don't want to like use that as a crutch because that sounds fucking stupid. You know what I mean? Like you should have known better back then, and I definitely should have. And I don't want to make excuses up for it. But
yeah,
like,
we're here to have an open conversation.
but like, I do just want to say like, there's a difference between like a young kid who just really is just like ignorant as fuck, and when you grow up to be like an older adult and you get around people who like you consider you like brothers and family who are people of color, it really does change
my
your
family.
it changes your whole your whole image and your whole vision of what you thought you know what I mean was going on.
Quick
So
question
like,
for you.
absolutely.
So it was like, so in your phrase, you said, you didn't want to say the bad word for homosexual, right?
Right.
But what was like in your mindset to me to say okay to say the hard R though? Like that's
like-
in the same.
Because
sense,
he just
same-
said like
Well, yeah,
that's
again,
how
like, that's-
he just thought it was like accepting because like
That's how
his
they all talked
elders
around
were
me.
people and like
You know what I
stuff
mean?
like that.
Like, and I know it sounds really dumb.
no,
and,
bro,
like,
it's a casual conversation. I mean,
Like-
I feel like what we're really depicting right now is that, you know, we're not, maybe you're trying to say, like, what I'm getting from this right now is you're trying to say, like, this isn't exactly who you are. This
No.
is a moment, and this is a product of where you came. And I think the bigger
Absolutely.
conversation is, you know, not just this one person doing it, because this was a wrong situation. We're going to clarify that.
Facts.
We're going to get ahead of that.
100%. I don't
But
stand by this.
This
at all.
also brings us to, you know, certain demographics that, you know, if it's a
called it
culture, you know, like if this is accepted somewhere, that means there's a culture, and we got to take those cultures and we got to break them down and start new ones
Yeah,
of
that's
love and
Glenn Fall's
foundation. You know what I
culture.
mean?
Cut it
That's
out.
why we even come to this podcast and are having this conversation now, because we need to get ahead of this and we need to change the narrative of what's going on. You know, this is going to stir up some
and
stuff.
give you an opportunity to
Right.
just speak for yourself again.
For
and
sure.
so
on it.
And to comment like a little bit further about like the Glens Falls thing, like that again, this is a long time ago. We're talking about, though, even the people in Glens Falls, they have changed dramatically since I'll say like 10 years, you know what I mean, 12 years. Like everyone's mindset has grown, and that's why like it kind of bothers me when like this like still gets brought up, because it's just like, I get it's a topic that needs to be talked about.
Yeah.
I get it's something very important. It's not something that I take lightly. You know what I mean? It's something in my past that like I do think about quite frequently. If I had a time machine, I wish I could go back and change it. But
how did the video get surfaced? So you're saying
Yeah.
the's a story about that?
Yeah,
'Cause
all right,
it
so-
got
I've
sent
been
to me.
wondering
So
that
how
too.
I
Yeah.
even, like I said, we have a
Okay.
promo package where we're literally, you know, promoting everybody else, promoting your flyer. And out of nowhere, I get a message, and it was basically
that was sent
from
to
someone
us.
saying, "Hey, I hope you know who you have, you know, performing at your event." And I'm, you know, confused.
what do you
right,
mean?
yeah, you
Because, like I said, before even this video, I just want to say, I
Because
want
we
to be on
weren't
record.
expecting that at all.
Yeah, I want to be on record.
Right,
like
yeah,
we
yeah.
met you, you know, before even hearing about this. You know,
Right.
I really didn't get any like type of vibes like that. So I was genuinely shocked, and that's
Same.
why I was confused on what to do.
Right.
But it did get brought up to me, and you know, so I wanted, how does it feel dealing with like, you know, the weight of stuff that you've gone through? But like, how did that video even surface? Like, who recorded that? Give us a story.
Why now? To
Yeah.
especially too like why now? Like right before.
Well,
like,
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't really watched like that in like a long time. Was that's been like what, a 2-year-old video? I
It
think
was-
now,
it
or
was
is
a
it a
year.
3-year?
No, it was
is
long.
it a year?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
a year.
So basically, around that time when that video was surfacing, I was in a trio, and we
Mm-hmm.
were called Malicious Music.
Okay.
And then we did a lot of like horrorcore underground shit. That's what we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I got really tired of doing that one particular style because it didn't feel like me. I wanted to do more of what I was doing present day right now, currently. I was getting more personal about my life and shit like that. And I was not talking about that like the horrorcore shit. They did not agree with my direction. You know what I mean? Which is fine. You know what I mean? I don't want to like push my way onto anybody, be like, oh, well, you have to agree with my way. So I was like, why don't we all just part ways? That shit
Be
was
more singular artists.
yeah, that shit
Yeah.
wasn't enough. The one person in my group had some family stuff going on, so you know what I mean. They got distracted, which is completely understandable. I held nothing against him for it. You know what I mean? So he ended up kind of just fizzling out of the scene, and it
Yeah.
was just me and this other guy. I'm trying really hard not to name drop because I don't want to be that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So
hey, man.
like, as long as we can respect that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
So in
Yeah,
sense,
like-
it was like right after that, like it was just kind of me and him, and then me and him started like butting heads with the direction that he wanted to go, and I started putting out like, you know, I had a song called By Myself at that time, and I
Oh, so
put
he
that
probably
out.
got mad and leaked it.
And it was a music video, and it was doing rather well. And it was around that time when my numbers started going up a little bit in the scene. Then all of a sudden, I became a problem. You know what I mean? Now I got to be stopped, and it's just like, but I don't need to be stopped. You know what I mean? We all could have just got along. Like
I feel like, and when you every action has consequences. I feel like we've talked a little bit before about this podcast and about some of the consequences you've kind of felt from that video even coming up. So what is kind of the point you're at in your career now, just as like, what are you doing now? Because I know we've had conversations about you kind of like falling back from rapping and you chose. So does that like have to do with this video clip resurfacing again, or is it just
a mental break?
It's one of those like things where I feel like no matter what, I feel like this is always going to be a thing. You know what I mean? Which kind of sucks that I feel like it's always. But like right now, like the major part why I'm like taking a step back is really because like where I am like in like I'll say normal life, you know what I mean? Like for like record, I'm still living at home with my folks, you know what I mean? I'm working 2 jobs just to save up money to like get a house and get property. I just got my credit fucking in a good spot so that I can like do loans and shit. Like I've been trying to get my shit straight for like a very long time, you know what I mean? And like now I feel like I'm in a better position to like start making more like adult decisions and shit. So like I'll always have a love for music, but like I really want things. Not like things just need to change on my end, and like I want us all to be able to just like put everything behind us and just push forward, because there is a lot of really good fucking talent in this area. You know what I mean?
And like, it sucks when something like that happens, because it does last with you forever. And even as you grow, you still gotta. I feel like as a person,
you have to fight that battle every time.
That's just gonna be a lot of trust being like earned back.
Right, and I'm willing to do like I've said it multiple times. Like I've made multiple posts about it when it first aired. I tried to really address it and be like, if there's anything I can do to like earn that respect back, please be vocal about it, because I don't mind
that's just
doing
like a hard thing.
Yeah, it's a big boundary crossed.
I think the real question I kind of want to know is, it still like fuck Albany, Troy, and Schenectady? Like, how do you?
Absolutely not.
I thought you said absolutely.
Yeah,
no. I met way too many like cool people who like are actually real genuine people, and that was the thing. Like back
in the 518.
Yeah, as a whole, even in just in Albany, Troy, like Wolf Visuals, you know what I mean? That dude has like changed my whole like perspective of how I think business wise. He he makes my videos look so good. Like, and he's a cool dude. Like,
shout out to Wolf
Visuals.
I mean? He does a lot of work around the
518. I'm at Smash, you know what I mean? Like producer Smash, wicked chill dude. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where, like, again, if I could go fucking back, dude, you know what I mean? That's like one of the things I'm.
So you generally regret this decision, I would say.
It's fair to say. 100%, dude.
So what's like one final message? We could wrap it up with this. Like, what's a final message that you would say to the people, you know, to let them know who you are now, and you know, to give them a final piece
and who
of mind.
You are now.
Yeah,
as a person, as a character.
Right now, like as a person, like I am no character, if that makes sense. That's why I dropped the whole malicious name. That's why I did everything. I used my last name as Durkee. Like I really want to like let people know like
this is you.
This is me. Like I'm not that. You know what I mean? Like. And like we can all change, and like if I see a lot of people always preaching about like change and coming together and growth, but then when it comes to things like this, or like sort of
the
like you know what I
action.
mean, the support is not there. Like I'm not allowed to show up as who I am because of like something that I did in the past, and like I get it, but at the same time, like that's not supporting growth and that's not supporting change. We need to support change, like we as a community, as a whole.
I feel like with. That's good that you're coming on here as like Matthew Durkee, like you.
Right, I didn't want to come up here as a
but it's definitely gonna be a lot of like earning back of like.
Yeah, there's gonna be people riled up, and you know, and as long as you know are accepting of that, and you know understand that you put yourself in that circumstance, and man enough to say, all right, you know, I fucked up, and I'm ready to get ahead of it. That's what today is. You know what I mean? And I can at least respect you coming onto the platform and you know openly talking about it. And, you know, conversations like this need to happen so we can start making a change. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because there's absolutely no excuse for
any type of use of that word.
Right. It doesn't hold. It's a negative word. It puts people down. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like we need to move forward and stop.
And if you could go back, would you change that situation?
Oh, dude, 100%. Like I would change a lot of fucking things that I said back in the day. You know what I mean?
So we're gonna end it on that. It's Mbbwrld mic'd up. You are now mic'd up with Mbbwrld podcast. We were here with Matthew Durkee, MBBT to the left of me, MBB Rocket to the corner of me. And we appreciate you guys tuning in. If you like content like this, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We're going to give you the real story. We're always going to go ahead and keep it raw with you. This is Uncut. Mbbwrld out.